again specific to factories. I think the threshold limit, as I said, if the manufacturing process is happening, if it is done with the aid of power, then at least 10 persons are required currently for that place is, to be called as a factory. And if it is manufacturing process happening without the aid of power, then at least 20 persons are required. Now this 10 and 20 are getting revised to 20 and 40 for the application of this particular factors. Of course, this could help the small employers, small factories, and the central government is empowered to make addition to the list of manufacturing process definition. Currently, I think 3-dimensional or 4-dimensional printing, prototyping, and flexography processes, they are also included currently. And night shift for women, I think we discussed on this. So it is now permitted, but of course, it is only with her consent. Similarly, overtime, for asking a person to work overtime, I think the consent of the worker is required. Earlier, if you go through the 2019 draft, they would have very specifically mentioned consent in writing. I think they have consciously removed those words in writing. So now it remains as overtime with the consent of worker, right? Please go through section 27 of the code. You will get more idea. And we all know that a factory has to choose an occupier, right? If it is not done, and if some non-compliance is noted by the enforcement authority, then he will have the choice of proceeding against any of the directors in the board, right? So that is the reason, in fact, we would always advise the industries to nominate an occupier and communicate it to the authority concerned, right? When that is done, then the authority can issue notice only to that occupier who is nominated as an occupier. That person who is, that director who is nominated as an occupier, he will not have any choice, right? That is number one. Now, very specifically, if there are independent directors, they cannot be nominated as occupier. It was not the case earlier, but now through the code, some restriction is brought in now. And reduction in threshold number of workers, we all know, maybe with respect to specifically factory, I'm saying safety officer, if there are 1,000 or more workers, currently the factory has to have one safety officer. That 1,000 is getting reduced to 500. Similarly, welfare officer, if there are 500 or more workers, the factory is supposed to have one exclusive welfare officer. Now that 500 is getting reduced to 250. Similarly, provision for canteen, the threshold number is 250 workers. That is getting reduced to 100 now, right? So again, there are certain reductions in the threshold number, so that I think the commitment for the employer could go up because of this.